welcome back to my channel, and today I kind of want to just share an experience I've had over the past few days. It's now, I think, technically like Wednesday. I've had a pretty crazy weekend up until like today. It's still kind of crazy to me, and I just felt like I wanted to make a video and kind of share my experience. This weekend I did my second time doing DMT. This is so crazy to talk about. I don't know, I feel like it was a journey, like, for sure. I guess I can like backtrack and start to like the first time I did it. So the first time I ever did DMT was a couple of months ago, I want to say. I had my friend come over, who was the friend that had it. So she came over because she was like gonna like guide me through like preparation and like meditating and all that shit. And she was gonna stay there and like trip sit me to make sure like I was okay, because she knows that I'm like prone to seizures. And I guess if you're like prone to seizures, some people tend to like seize out while they're experiencing what this amazing thing has to show you. So she came by to trip sit me, and it was the first time, it was pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't like eye-opening, you know. It was just kind of like a pretty experience. Like, I felt like it wasn't really trying to tell me anything. The first time I did it, I only took like 2 hits, and my friend tried to get me to take a third, and I was like, I can't, because like at that point when I took the second hit, that's when everything just started to like rush and like hit, and like it hits hard as fuck. Like, it just overwhelms your brain like so much all at once. And I felt like if I would have taken that third hit, I was gonna throw up, even though in reality I would have been fine. But at that point in time, I didn't know that, because like I've never done it before. So I was just going off of like how I was feeling, and I was like, I feel like if I was gonna take a third hit, I was gonna throw up and it wasn't gonna be fun. So I was just like, I think I'm good on that for a minute. And I just sat back and I like closed my eyes and laid my head back and kind of just enjoyed everything. And I can remember like the only thing I kept saying to my friend was just, wow, just fucking wow, dude. And so like the first time I did it, it was, all I really seen was like when I had my eyes closed, it was just like all these pretty colors, and it's hard to even describe it. Like with anything, when it comes to like a DMT trip, I found no matter what you see, you can't really explain it very well. Like it's something that you kind of have to like experience for yourself, kind of, to understand what people are like really talking about. But it was just like these beautiful colors, and it was like rainbow, but like beyond rainbow. And the first time I did it, like everything looked like an old arcade game. Like it was like pixelated, you know. It looked like Pac-Man or something. And it was just like all these beautiful colors, and like everything looked like an arcade game. And I seen like a sphinx, and it was like breathing fire, like an Egyptian sphinx, you know, like head of like a human, body of a lion kind of a thing. So I seen one of those, and like it was like breathing fire, but it was all still like these colorful, like arcade looking pixels. Like it was weird. So that was the only thing that I really seen like the first time I did it. And then since then I've been trying to like mentally prepare myself for another journey. And I had been talking to my friend about it, and I was like, you know, I'm willing to try it again, but like I'm not in like any rush to really do it like right away. And so we kept talking and hanging out a couple of times and talking about it. And then I think the last time that we like hung out before this weekend, we went to a roller skating rink, and she invited me out to go roller skating. And I was talking to her about it, and I was like, you know, I think I'm ready, and I think this time I'm ready to go all the way. Because we were talking about it, and we both agreed like the first time that I did it, it was like I was kind of like at the doorstep, but I didn't like burst through the door because I wasn't ready then, you know? I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready then. So fast forward to over the weekend, my friend comes over and she was like, I think I want to do it with you this time, like, and let's like trip together. And I was like, okay, like I'm down. Since I like did it once before already, I kind of, know somewhat to expect like this time. And so she came over and I went on my second journey, and it was crazy to say the least. So Saturday I ended up doing it twice. I did it once with my friend, and then after she left later that night, I did it again at this for a second time. And so like the first time, we both kind of had like a shared experience, which I think was kind of like crazy and weird, but like awesome, because it's been known to happen, but like I never would have thought that something like that would happen to me. Like I never thought I would have like a shared experience with somebody. Like I always hear about stuff like that happening, but I never thought that it would happen to me. So me and my friend both seen like pretty much the same things. We seen like these ancient Egyptian figures like sitting in stone chairs, and they were kind of like coming out and blooming and like morphing into each other and then blooming out again. And it was, like I said, it's hard to really explain. And then I also seen like a snake like move up their chair and around, and it was just beautiful. It was the only thing I can think of to describe it. It's just beautiful. And so that was pretty much the extent of like what I seen that time. And then I seen like a couple other things, but like the main thing that really stuck with me were those ancient Egyptian figures sitting in those stone chairs. After she left later that night, I think it was probably maybe about like around the same time that it is now, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to try it again for a third time. And this third time was the most intense I'd ever experienced. Like it was so fucking crazy. Like I literally finally experienced an ego death. And it was fucking scary as fuck, but also beautiful at the same time. So this third time that I did it, I was sitting in the living room on the little couch, and I, did my thing. I think that time it only took like 2 hits, but that was all I needed. And I just remember just lifting off, and it just happened so fast, like boom. And I was there. I just remember seeing like this figure. It was like, I keep seeing like ancient Egyptian kind of figures, and this one it was like the head of a cat, but like the body of a human, and it had like this Egyptian like headdress type of a thing on. And it just, reached out and told me like, come here, but like it wasn't talking, but like I understood it. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it just reached out his hand and was like, come with me. And I went along with this entity on this journey, and it showed me so much, and I can't even remember everything that it showed me, but the gist of what it showed me was it brought me out in what I like to call like the DMT room. And I saw like everything, and I felt one with like everything. Like I could feel the whole universe, and it was insane. And then I lifted out even further, and it was just one big machine. Like I was like, what the fuck? And then I just seen like these numbers. It was crazy. It was like literally like the fucking the Matrix. It was just like these numbers, like ones and zeros, ones and zeros, ones and zeros. And then it was like this big machine was like humming, and I don't know how to explain it. Like it was just like this big ass machine, and it was like humming. And then I heard like these people in the background were like, reboot, reboot, reboot. And then as soon as they said that, I like, boom, I started like coming back to, I guess, like reality, or what we know as reality. And I started to be able to like move my hands again, and like I started to open my eyes, and I was still seeing like the machine working and like running this program. And then I would like open my eyes, and I would see like I had my cup on the table, and I could literally see like the ones and zeros of my cup, and then the ones and zeros that were like forming the table. And I looked up and I saw like the wall. It was all just like code. Like everything I was seeing was in code. And then I like closed my eyes and like opened it again, and everything started to look normal again ish. Like I wasn't seeing everything in code anymore, but then, like, when I would move my hand, I would see like multiples of my hand, like where my hand once was, and then it moved, and I just saw like, I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't know, like everything kind of just like a weird feeling about it. And then as I got up, I was like, I'm thirsty. I got up to go and get me something to drink, and I got into the kitchen. I was like, I'm fucking dying. Like this is it. This is how I fucking die. Like I did too much. Like I did too much of this tonight, and now I'm gonna fucking die. And so I got me a drink from the sink in the kitchen. Like I poured some water in a cup, but I took like 2 drinks. I was like, this tastes like shit. And I just poured it out, and then I was like, I'm gonna throw up. So I went to the bathroom, and I like sat on the toilet, and I'm like, this is how I die. Like I'm about to die right now. And I thought I was gonna throw up, but I never threw up. And I started like coming down more, and it was the craziest feeling, because like I felt like, I don't know, like I felt like at that point, when I felt like I was dying, I felt like only part of me was here, and I left the other part of me up there, and then I felt it kind of like melt back into me, I guess. Like I don't know, like I could feel it just like coming up from above and like filling me back up. And then I was like, okay, I'm fine, like everything is good. And I got back up, I walked out of the bathroom, and then I was like, I'm thirsty. And so I went and got me something to drink again. And that was my crazy third time. And it was intense as fuck. Like honestly, it was intense as fuck. And now like I've taken these past couple of days to kind of like think and reflect on it, and like everything that it showed me. And I don't know, like I fully believe that this reality that we know is nothing. Like where we are in the world now, I feel like it's just the beginning. And I literally think that, you know, maybe this is all like a simulation. Maybe we do live in the Matrix. It wouldn't really surprise me if everything that we know is just a simulation, part of a machine that's like constantly working and moving and just goes on for forever. Like there's no beginning, there's no end. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, that was my experience with DMT thus far. It was pretty intense and crazy, and I don't know, like I don't have a desire to rush back and do it again, but I definitely am open to doing it again later on down the line. But like I said, again, I'm not in any rush to do that anytime soon. Like that's not something you want to do like a lot, you know. It's kind of like a once in a while kind of a thing. But I definitely feel like different, you know. I've like these past couple of days, I've really like kind of been reflecting on myself too, and I've noticed that ever since then, like I felt different. Before Saturday, I've been feeling like so depressed, and now I don't know, like I feel more relaxed and more at peace with everything. I feel like my body is still depressed, but like my spirit is is more at peace with everything. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, it's a weird feeling, but I feel better about myself than I did before. I just wanted to share my experience with you guys, and if any of you guys have had any experiences with DMT or any kind of like psychedelic, please let me know down in the comments below what things that you've experienced. I would love to read and hear about all of your experiences, and if not, I don't know, just leave a comment down below and tell me if it's something that you would be interested in trying, or if it's something that you wouldn't ever think of doing. I don't know, let's just have a conversation and just get along all together, like down in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see all of you sexy bitches later.